My name is Circuit Judge Scott Robinson, and welcome to Traffic Court. Many of you are here for your first appearance, which is known as an arraignment. The purpose of the first appearance is to advise you of your rights and explain the charges and possible penalties. Please know that this is not the date set for trial, so today the court will not be hearing all of the details about your case. You will be advised of your rights as a group. When your case is called, I will ask each of you if you understood the rights that I've explained. If you have any questions about your rights, please feel free to ask me. Please listen carefully while I explain your rights. You have the right to remain silent. If you make any statements about your case to anyone other than your own attorney, those statements could be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney. If the prosecutor is seeking more than a fine in your case, and you are unable to afford an attorney, the court will appoint an attorney to represent you. You have the right to plead not guilty and to have a trial. You are presumed innocent, and you are not required to prove your innocence. At trial, the prosecution has the burden of proof. That means, as the party bringing the case, the prosecutor has the responsibility to present evidence to prove the case. Depending on how your case is charged, it is the prosecutor's burden to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt or by a preponderance of the evidence, which means more likely true than not. If your case goes to trial, you have the right to ask questions of the prosecutor's witnesses. You have the right to present witnesses and evidence on your own behalf. You have the right to testify. You have the right not to testify. And you have the right to subpoena witnesses to appear at trial. If you are not a citizen of the United States, a conviction for a misdemeanor offense may have the consequence of deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or denial of naturalization under the laws of the United States. Now that I have explained your rights, I'll explain what you can expect when your case is called. First, it is our goal to get your case called as efficiently as possible. I thank you in advance for your patience. Please be sure to remain quiet while in court and place your cell phones on silent. If you are here for an insurance issue, a registration issue, or a driver's license issue, and you have documents to show that those issues have been resolved, please have them out when your case is called. If your insurance card is on your cell phone, you may use your phone to show the prosecutor. The bailiff will direct you where to be seated. When your case is called, please take your place at the podium. I will ask you if you understand the legal rights I just explained, and I'll explain the charges and the possible penalties that apply in your case. You'll have the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor about your case, but as I previously explained, you are not required to do so because you have the right to remain silent. The prosecutor may make you an offer to resolve your case in exchange for a plea of guilty. All plea agreements must be approved by the judge. If you are charged with multiple traffic offenses, the offer may include the prosecutor requesting the court to dismiss one or more of the charges as part of their agreement with you. The prosecutor's offer might also include court supervision. Court supervision does not mean that you are actively being monitored by the court. There is no requirement to report to or check in with anybody. It simply means that if, during the period of time you are on court supervision, you comply with the terms of supervision, including not violating any laws and timely payment of your fines and costs, the charge or charges will be dismissed at the end of the supervision term. This also means the charge or charges will not appear on your driving record as a conviction. Court supervision can be beneficial because a conviction may result in your auto insurance rates going up or, in some circumstances, may result in your license being suspended. Your supervision will start on the date you plead guilty. One of the conditions of your court supervision would be that you would be required to pay fines and costs. The due date for the fines and costs would be 30 days before your supervision ends. For example, if you're placed on 12 months of court supervision, the fines and costs would be due in 11 months. If the fines and costs are not paid by the due date, the unpaid balance will be sent to a collection agency. This would add substantial additional fees and interest, and the collection agency could take action, such as filing a lawsuit in order to collect the amount due. If you are charged with driving an uninsured motor vehicle, and you have proof that the vehicle was insured at the time you received your ticket, the charge will be dismissed. If you do not have proof of insurance at the time you were ticketed, please know that the court would only be able to place you on supervision if you provide proof of insurance obtained after you received the citation. If you need time to obtain insurance, I will continue your case to give you that opportunity. If you are unable or do not want to accept an offer from the prosecutor today, I will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf. Then we can do one of two things. first, we could set your case for trial on a future date. Or, if you need time to consider the prosecutor's offer or to obtain documentation relating to your case, we could set your case for one additional court date, called a pretrial conference. This might also be done to allow the prosecutor time to obtain a police report or a copy of your driving record, which frequently occurs when you receive the ticket as a result of a traffic accident. From time to time, I may need to call a case out of order. If that happens, please know that it is because there are competing schedules. Attorneys and interpreters often are required to appear in other courtrooms where other judges are waiting for them. Thank you for your attention and thank you for your patience. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have when your case is called.